Hello and welcome to this tutorial of how to use Sofia, the new Imperial College School of Medicine curriculum map. So you can find Sofia at imperial.ac.uk/Sofia, that's spelt with an F, and you will see that redirects you to the correct page. So this is the home page. As you can see, there are two ways to log in. You should all be able to log in using your Imperial ID. If you click on the button, log in with your normal username and password. And that will give you your personalised view. So this is our test student. Gwilym is in year 1, as you can see. If you want to modify your curriculum and see other years, then you can do that very easily. Now this is because what you should see when you log in is your current year and any subsequent years. So if you're in year 5 now, you should only see years 5 and 6. And that's because we haven't retroactively filled the map. We do just have this year and going forwards. But you can have a look at anything you like that is in this current year for any year. The pop-up will appear and you select in the academic year, and that's this year because that's all that's in there at the moment, and what year you were in. So you can select whichever year you like and your view will adjust accordingly. So for this student who is in year 1, this is the browse view. So you can look at all the years, you get a list of all the themes, you can click on a theme, you'll get a list of your courses, you can click on a course, and you'll get a list of all the learning events. Now within that, you can click on any event, and it will give you a list of learning outcomes associated with that particular event. You'll see this little pop-up here. If you click on the plus sign, it will give you some metadata which we've collected on all of our learning outcomes. So you'll see the domains, that's sort of the categories that it falls into. There is the level. So this, for example, we want you to, it's going to be introduced, and then we also expect you to master it by the end of that lecture. You have emphasis, you have some assessment information, and specialty. Now the number you will see is the paragraph in tomorrow's Doctors 09 that this particular learning outcome relates to. That's so that you can be reassured that everything that we're teaching maps directly onto the GMC requirements. Now you can add a note at any stage on any page within the browse view. So you can see here, electrical activity of the heart. I've added reread before placement. Now you can write anything you like here. If you want to edit it, you just click on it, you can change it, or you can delete it. Are you sure you want to delete it? Click on delete and that will delete it for you. Now if you then want to make a new note, you'll see only you will be able to see this. That means that anything you type is completely private to you. We cannot see that, we can't see anything that you add to your curriculum, and we are not tracking it. So if I say read before lecture, tick, note saved. Now what you can then see is if I go back to Cardiovascular System, you can see that a little symbol has appeared at the side to show that you've made a note on that learning event. And if you click on the Notes button on the left-hand side, that note will also appear here. That's chronological, so the most recent note will be at the top of the list. If you then click on the name of the page that you've made it on, it then takes you straight back to that page, and again you've got all of your learning outcomes. Now you can also use the search function in this view. So if I wanted to search for electrical, that will give you a list of learning events. You can see there's only one that has the word electrical in it, and we've also got 6 learning outcomes across the entire 6 years that have the word electrical in them. So I can show all results. And then you can add a filter. So you can filter by any of the metadata that we have. For example, you can filter by year and select year 1 and it will give you the results that just appear in year 1, and you can carry on adding filters until you've got exactly what you want. Here the starred items are your top hits. Those are the things that have been most frequently clicked on by all of the users. So the top learning event, electrical activity of the heart, again that takes us back to the page with the note and with the list of learning outcomes. There is also a calendar view, which you should all be familiar with. This is very like the course map that you get in Excel. If you click on the course that is in there and then click on the pop-up, it takes you back to the correct page for that course. Now we haven't built the calendar yet for years 3 and 6. 1 and 2 are in there. Year 5 will be associated with particular groups. So whatever group you're in, you will only see the calendar for that particular group. We are working on years 3 and 6, so please bear with us as we build in the information. There's also an Explorer view. Now, at the moment, this is very much in its infancy. We're going to be doing a lot of exciting things with this particular view, but currently it just gives you a more visual representation of the information that you get in Browse. So you can expand on what's in the years. For example, you can see all the courses that fall within molecules, cells and disease, and you can have a look at any of those, and then if you click on the word, it will take you to the correct page. So that's just another way of getting to the same information and really visually being able to have a look at the course as a whole. Then there's this last view. So the systems view we built in specifically based on student feedback. So I really hope you like this view. This is really giving you control of your own learning. So for your clinical placements, we really hope you're going to use this view to keep track of where you are and how comfortable you feel in the environment. So you can click on any system. I've clicked on Cardiovascular System. You will note there is no, for example, child health here. Now that will appear. The reason it's not there at the moment is because you do paediatrics in year 5 and systems currently just covers years 3 and 6, but we are making changes to that. So you will soon see child health and other specialties appear here as well. So cardiovascular system. This is a list of all the conditions that we think you need to know about within the cardiovascular system by the time you leave us. We've also got some procedures here, for example, below knee amputation. Now, if you click on any one of these things, you get a list of learning outcomes associated with that particular condition. And you can tick these off. As you'll note, your progress bar also fills as you tick them off. So 2, 3. These are all the learning outcomes that are in year 3. You'll see it's tagged with year 3. And then we have some that are tagged with year 6. So this is really just to get across the message that 3 and 6 need to be viewed as a continuum. So you're going to come across the same conditions in both years, and what needs to change is your depth of understanding for those conditions. You can, of course, tick off year 6 learning outcomes in year 3. This is just for your own record. You'll also see this little drop down. So this is signposting. So electrical activity of the heart, where we've just been. Any learning outcomes that are tagged with these particular conditions will appear here. So all the information is not yet in. We are currently filling up the signposting in the early years, but anything that's been tagged with arrhythmia, heart block, you will see appearing here. And again, if you click on that, it takes you straight back to that particular learning event. Now this is completely private, so any ticking off that you do here, we will not be keeping track of. So please don't feel that you need to tick things off unless you really do feel comfortable with them. You can also untick. So if you tick something off in year 3 and you come back to it in year 6 and think, actually, I need to reread that, you can untick it as well. So this is just for you to keep a track of how you're doing, and it's only for your use. You will also notice that we have not just a systems view, but presentations in that view as well. This is a list of all of the most common presentations we think you will come across on your clinical placements. And you can filter these because there is a huge number. So if I start typing abdomen, you will get just the one, abdominal pain. If you click on that, you then have all of the sub-classifications for that presentation. And again, click on here, so right upper quadrant, for example, and you get a list of the conditions that we think are most commonly associated with that presentation. You click on any one of these, make your diagnosis, you click on any of these, and again, you can tick off those learning outcomes. So this means that in a clinical environment, you can come across a patient with a particular presentation, and you can use the learning opportunity that that presents to tick off your learning outcomes for the associated conditions. So that is a very swift run through of the different views that we have in the system. We really hope that in particular you'll use the systems view and start ticking off learning outcomes. You'll look at the presentations, you'll use that to tick off your learning outcomes. Please have a play with it, see what you can do, see if there's anything that you think is missing or any particular functionality that you would really like to see in there. We have already had some suggestions. We are now working on linking this up with our assessment system so that you'll be able to get some limited, but you will be able to get some targeted feedback on what you should be reading up on and what things you should add to your revision list. That's just one of the things we've had suggested to us by students, and we are already working on it. So if there's anything that you think would really make a difference and would help you to engage with the system, please let us know. You can email us on sofia@imperial.ac.uk, and that email address is also on the homepage of Sofia. Anything that you think we need to add, please let us know. And if we get some good suggestions, then we will absolutely incorporate them into future iterations. The system is changing daily now. Now you can be reassured that any notes that you make or any learning outcomes that you tick off, you won't lose those when we make updates. So you can use the system already, but you will see that the back end particularly, so the early years and the signposting, will continue to be improved weekly. Please keep track with us. Please learn with us. Please suggest anything that you think needs to be added, and we will work on it. We want you to use this system, and we want it to be of top value for you, and we want it to improve your student experience. So please do engage with it and let us know if there's anything else we can do. Thank you very much.